guys! It's been well over a month since The Last Jedi came out, and so I thought now would be a perfect time to actually go into spoilers and talk about the things I liked and the things I didn't like. Negative stuff is for another video because I found the movie so polarizing, like just for me. There was part of it that I absolutely loved and then a lot of it that I absolutely hated. It just went back and forth between those two emotions the entire movie. So I thought it would be fun to actually talk about the things that I liked, bring some positivity, because I know that this movie got destroyed pretty badly on the internet. But that's okay. I wrote down notes. So there were three characters that basically when they were on screen, I thought the movie was magical, and that was Rey, Kylo Ren, and Snoke. I actually thought Snoke was an incredible villain. I liked the voice actor a lot. I liked how he just had this low growl, and then twice in the movie he like snapped and had this like raging yell. I found it to be really effective, and there's just this sense of like he was just so old and has seen so much and almost kind of didn't care or was like nonchalant about things, but in a way where it was very eerie. And I thought he looked really good because especially with Star Wars and CGI characters, it's kind of like, well, we don't want another Jar Jar Binks on our hands. But Snoke I thought actually looked really, really well because they did a lot of close-ups on him and I was thoroughly convinced. This is just stream of consciousness right now. I also really liked when Kylo brought in Rey and when he was torturing her and just kind of like flipping her around, causing her pain. He didn't have to do a lot to show how powerful he was, and I thought that was really effective. I'm thrilled to see that a lot of other people agree. It's not just that I thought these things were good because I'm a big fan of the ship, but that it was consistently good throughout the film. And those were all the Rey and Kylo interactions. They were great. And they almost felt like they were written and directed by a completely different person because they were very slow, character driven. There is silence and this pause in this movie where they took some time to develop the characters. And it was cool to actually see the development where it starts out Rey's screaming at him when the Force connects them at first, and then by the end of it she's like, I can help you, Ben, blah blah blah. Ben is also revealing more about his past. It was just such a good tool, and it was just one of the best like little character dynamics and scenes that I've seen in any Star Wars movie. I also really liked when they were like touched hands. They might as well have made out. It was like the same thing to me. And then Daddy Luke catches Rey with a boy. That's so good. That's so fun. And then Rey turns against him and is like fighting him. That was cool. That was great. I also really liked that Kylo helped Rey and turned against Snoke, even though it was like a little obvious. You kind of saw it coming a few seconds beforehand, and I know a lot of people were like, oh, so Snoke's dead, but we don't get any backstory and all that. I'm like, I don't need backstory. I don't care. I just know that he's a bad guy. He's obviously powerful. It's like, I get it. And I like that Kylo killed him. And then I liked that he and Rey teamed up and battled against the little red ninjas. That was one of the best lightsaber battles that I've seen in a Star Wars movie. I like their dynamic. I like that Kylo could take on 2 or 3 at a time. Rey could only take on 1. They were kind of keeping tabs on each other. I like the ninja guys, how they each had like different like swords or knives, or it was just really creative and like within the throne room. It was just so cool, and it like slowed down for a second. Ugh. It was so good. I was like, right, imagine if the entire movie was like this. Oh my. I think the standout character to a lot of people is Kylo Ren, and it's like becoming pretty obvious. The story is kind of shifting and focusing more on him, that he's kind of struggling between dark and light. And same with Rey. That was another thing that I thought was cool, that she was so desperate to find answers about her past and just like what to do in this critical situation that she was willing to go to dark places to find it. And I know there's a lot going around about like the gray Jedi, like not all good, not all, or not even good and bad, just not all dark and not all light. And I think they're definitely making hints about that. I think that would be great. It would be new and different and exciting, and it would be a really fun theme to explore. So I was definitely, and I was supposed to be all positive. all positive. I was kind of bummed out that Rey didn't join Kylo and start something new together. Granted, he was also gonna blow up all her friends, so that's like a decent reason. It's like, yes, that's new. That sounds interesting. So hopefully they go more along that path in the 9th film, but we'll see. I also really liked that line that Kylo said. He had a lot of good lines in this movie, like the "forget the past, kill it if you have to." That's a classic one. I can see that becoming tattoos all over Instagram. But the one that I really liked was when he kind of revealed, or it was revealed to us, whose Reys parents were, which were just trash. And I'm so happy that Rey is not related to anybody that we know. It's like, how many people can be related to the original characters? I thought it would have been really lame, but I liked that her parents were just like monster trash people. So I thought Kylo's line about "you're no one, you're nothing, but not to me" was really interesting, because on the surface that seems a little manipulative. When you see it from his perspective, it's like the whole bloodline thing is really important, because he's related to Anakin Skywalker, and he's related to Luke Skywalker and Leia, and Han Solo. It's like he has all this like important, prestigious bloodline that is like, that's what makes him so special. And so the fact that she doesn't come from anything, that kind of says something to him. And I think it kind of says something to us too, because I know a lot of fans were just like, oh, she's Luke's daughter, she's a Jedi, she's special, she has to be related to somebody that we also think is special. But for them to be like, oh no, she comes from nothing, she is nothing. But not to him. To him, she means a lot. She actually listened to him and had faith in him and like helped him out. The whole Kylo and Rey thing is just so cute. I hope they like keep on that path and don't turn him into like the big bad guy and then that's it. I didn't love everything that happened on the Salt Planet in that battle. Like visually it was cool, but there was definitely some things that I would just like, my eyes just could not roll far enough back in my head. But I really liked the Kylo versus Luke battle. I liked how strong his anger was against him, because you just get the sense there's just such hurt and betrayal, and that's what I like about him too. It doesn't feel like he's evil for evil's sake. It feels like he leans towards that side because he's just been like hurt so badly. I liked seeing that when he confronted Luke, and I liked the wide shot and the sun setting and the salt and the lightsabers. I eventually came to appreciate the fact that Luke was I want to say a hologram, that he was a spiritual simulation of himself, because I think he knew that because Kylo is still struggling, that there's a good chance, or probably a very good chance, that Kylo was going to kill him or want to kill him. So to kind of confront him but take away that option, because he was like, if you kill me, I'll be with you forever. So it was kind of a way to teach him a lesson, but without having him to bear like a second death, since he already killed Han. Now for everything outside of those three characters and situations, I liked Luke, but I didn't always love Luke. I kind of found some of the humor with him to be a little flat, and I found some of the things that they made him do, like getting the milk, to be really weird. Just felt a little bit off to me in a way that I still haven't quite been able to put my finger on, but I liked it a hell of a lot more than pretty much anything to do with the rebels or the resistance, whatever. I was over them pretty much after the first battle with Poe. I liked Poe a lot, although I felt that he was kind of like used and abused in this movie, but Oscar Isaac is just such a charismatic and compelling actor, and he just looked and sounded and fit so well in the Star Wars universe. It's just like, you belong here. I wish they had you do cooler stuff. Other than the first battle, I like the World War I vibe that it had. I like that it was creative with the fact that his ship was so small that they couldn't aim at him. I liked I don't know what she's called, so I'm just gonna call her the Asian sister. I liked her a lot, a lot. There is just something, even though she hardly spoke, she maybe spoke one line, and she was just so compelling. You can tell she's a trained actor because she just had a really good on-screen presence, and I was like, her sacrifice, I was like, oh my goodness, you're so sweet, I like you a lot, I wish you just didn't die in the first 10 minutes. It was like bittersweet to see Leia. She had several opportunities to have a very satisfying conclusion to her arc. Like when she and Kylo kind of had that weird Force interaction too, and he almost gonna kill him and then decided not to, and it's like she died, or was she died? She got blasted out of the ship anyway, but the fact that it wasn't by her son and there's like still that hope he's not completely morally corrupt was awesome, and would have been such a great and satisfying way for her to go out, because it's like she's somewhat at peace with the fact that there's still good within her child, and like what more do you need? What more do you need? So that pretty much rounds up everything that I liked about that movie. It's not just that I liked it, especially with those Rey and Kylo and Snoke scenes. Those were the best sequences I've ever seen in Star Wars, and they also hit a particular button with me where it's just, it just felt tailor made for me in a lot of ways. So big fan. I cannot wait to own the movie so I can just fast forward through the parts I hate and get to the parts that I love. But the parts that I love, I really love, and it did feel like the director, who I felt like has been getting a lot of flack lately, he took a lot of chances, sort of, even though everybody just kind of ended up in the same place. But narratively, he took a lot of chances, and the ones that worked, like Rey and Kylo having the Force connection and killing Snoke, I mean, they were incredible. And then the stuff that didn't, it's really bad. But we'll get to the bad stuff in another video that will come out next Wednesday. I'm going to be posting Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern time, so stay tuned for that and give it a big thumbs up if you liked it. It really helps me out, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!